Hello there. I am Benjamin Cooperman of the Embrace or Leave channel players. Serious thing is not working for me, being as this is a comedy show and we try to make asses of ourselves in every episode. So, just a little warning, there's not going to be much of that in this episode unless I just say something completely off the wall, which I probably won't. But I was surfing the tube yesterday, and if you're not down with it, the tube means YouTube, so learn something new every day. I was surfing the tube, and I noticed that Gabe had done an introduction, and so I'm like, introduction to the Embrace or Leave channel. So I click on it, and he goes through the whole thing, and he mentions his own name and Alexander Buscos, which, if you don't know, we kicked out. Yeah. So he mentions the guy who doesn't stay and himself, who is just like letting himself be dragged along by me in most of these episodes. I don't know if you share that opinion, but you probably do if you've been watching the show. So I'm not really down with the name anymore. I'm thinking like maybe I'll tell him to change the name to the Benjamin Show, because that's basically what it already is. I smell good. Anyway, the Benjamin Show, yeah, and you know, this sort of feels like Survivor when they're like talking to the cameras. Not that I watched that show. Yeah, actually I watched that show. Not often. Okay, yeah, I've watched every episode since the 1963 premiere. They actually did have, you didn't know that, they had a 1963 Survivor show, or the equivalent, but it was all in black and white, so it kind of sucked, because when they're like, it's a lot like, you know, the story of my life, because since I was born, people have been telling me that I'm like, oh, Ben, you're really creepy. Ben, put the knife down. Ben, you're going to grow up and kill somebody. Ben, put the knife down. Gabriel, you're right behind me, aren't you? This shit? Okay. Yeah, I'll be right back here. Okay. So I closed the door because if you didn't know, this house is haunted. You see, it was built on an ancient Rastafarian burial ground, and what they did is they would embalm their dead like joints, right? And then like the big mogo, which is what they called like the I guess equivalent of a rabbi, would just light him up and take the first drag, and then they'd pass the guy around, hot leaf plastered to it, and bury it in like catacombs. Oh, hey there, swizzle stick. So like, oh, I'm an ambassador from the dog species. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky, but I am wearing her underwear. Delicatessen. I was like, okay, what does that stand for? Delicious Evil Lollipops Incorporated, because I was expecting some like crazy conservative conspiracy, but no, literally delicatessen, which is odd because delis are run by Jews, and Jews are usually Democrats, right? But wrong, because apparently because they eat it and then they realized it was shaped like a cross, and they're like, oh no, I had a pickle cross. And I'm like, hey there, guess what, I died. And then start smoking, and like everybody be like, whoa, Ben died, he's a ghost, right? So yeah, better get angry if you look at them. They get a pickle.
Oh hey Ben.
And, oh hey Gabe. That boom boom boom, gotta get that boom boom boom, gotta get that boom boom boom, gotta get that boom boom boom. I got that hit to beat the block, you can get that bass overload. I got that rock and roll, that future flow, that digital spit, next level visual shit. I got that boom boom boom, that future boom boom boom.
Yeah. Did we do it?
We did it.
I kind of blacked out there for a second.
Oh yeah? So did I. I was like, I hope my autopilot kicks in.